This is afternoon programming with L. All right, everybody. Welcome to this is episode 7 of afternoon programming. Man, I really am appreciative to the guy that we have here today on this episode. Man, it's like a brother to me. Taught me so much, man, about the music industry and the game, and put me on to, man, so many things. And like I've learned so much from him. But I just really want to get into it. Today's guest that we have for this episode is my brother, DJ Burn One. Man, thank you for being on the podcast.
That's what's up, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, already. So before we get going, do you want to promo anything you got, like whether it be your socials or anything you're working on that you want to kind of put out there to people?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can find me. Usually they wait till the end of it. You know, you're an artist.
Yeah.
This shit, dog. You're like, go and shout it out now because everybody's going to click off at the end. You can find me at DJ BURNONE, DJ Burn One, all social media. Our website is www.the5points, FIVEPOINTS bakery, the5pointsbakery.com. You can like lease beats and check out like our discography and keep up with our latest everything on there. We got like a little news portion. All types of stuff on there. As far as stuff we got going on, we just started offering in-house mixing and mastering. My company, the 5 Points Bakery and Tree Sound Studios here in Atlanta, teamed up in collaboration. So now we're offering in-house mixing and mastering out of Tree Sound now. So it's like you can officially come to Tree Sound and get your record mixed and mastered now, along with recording and creating and all the other cool stuff, you know. So we just started doing that, which is really dope. So running everything through the big SSL 4000 and the Neve racks and all the outboard gear. So it's really like we're using the best because I really call myself a plugin junkie. So it's like I have over 5,000 plugins, bro, for real. So it's like for real, and I bought most of them for real. So it's like I got all my hybrid. You know, it's really the best of the hybrid mixing. You know, we got the best of the digital stuff, and then we got all the analog stuff up at the studio. And then also up at Tree Sound, we've been doing this thing every Sunday called Tree Church of Sound, where basically like Paul, the owner, will kind of show us and a bunch of other people just like different miking techniques, routing things, different ways of using the live instruments getting the live instruments from the live room to the main room, tracking bands together, really doing everything. So it's kind of like a learning exercise for the interns and engineers, even myself, you know, as far as like learning better things about patching and shit. And then after we get all set up, like me and my crew will all plug in, Walt Live, Go Ricky Go, Anna Valina. Her sister Waya's been jamming with us. And then John William, he jumps in with us sometimes. You know, some of the interns and engineers will hop in and just play. We make samples, and then we kind of turned it into a show. And so the last 2 weeks we had DJ Spins. We did the first one. We're kind of getting our feet together. And then the last episode we did is about to come out with DJ Toon. So that's really dope. That's really dope, dog. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to kind of turn it more into a show. Not really like specifically like Kenny Beats or Pensado's Place or any of that, but a little bit of everything. Like knowledge, information, entertainment, you know?
No, definitely, man. That's super dope. Yeah, I wish I would have been there for Toomp. I had something come up, but I was going to swing through. And
I know you were supposed to have been there. I was like, bro, I need you, dog, bro. Yeah, man, that was super dope, bro. You know, it's like, you know, you say you've learned a lot of stuff from me. I've learned a lot of stuff from you too, you know, just watching you work. You know, just seeing, like I said, like seeing you set up a tripod and simple things like that, like just getting it right. There's like, it's kind of like a mix, you know, it's like there's everything is not right. And then it's right. You know, exactly. It's like you just know how to dial it in. Even on videos we worked on, like War Witch, you know, you were DP on that with me too for B.O.B. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like that like was definitely one of my most cinematic videos, you know.
Oh, definitely, man. And, man, we've like worked on so many things together, bro. I wanted to kind of like, I had like a few questions I wanted to ask you, kind of like, just for people who don't know, man, you've had like this amazing career so far. And I say so far because like I already know, man, like it's every time that we link up or like, let's say, you know, we're focused on doing what we're trying to do, man, it always comes back. And I was talking to Ricky about this. Go Ricky Go. Shout out to Go Ricky Go and Walt Live and Anna Valina and Velez and everybody. And one thing I always notice is like sometimes, you know, it might be a second before we get to like talk or catch up or anything like that. But every time we link back up, it's like the skill level, like it's just you're sharpening your knife, you're like honing in on your craft and you're just like mastering it, man. And I wanted to ask you, so you've been in the game, when I say the game, like the music industry and just doing music in general, for how long now? How long has it been?
I think I'll be 37 in December.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably was selling music at like 14.
Ooh,
13, 14 in school, you know, because I got in early on, like downloading music online and CD burners and shit.
Yeah.
So I would like do a little bit of bootlegging and like like nothing crazy. Just like a couple CDs burning like Fabulous albums and shit, you know, DJ Clue albums, random shit. And then I started doing my own mixtape. So I take like the top 8 songs on the top 8 at 8 on B103 and I'd press those up. You know what I'm saying? I'd find them all online and burn them. This is like 56K dial-up AOL internet chat rooms, bro. This is the beginning of everything, bro. You know, the beginning of piracy online. But I started doing that, and then you know, from that, I got a job at a real CD store, and a mom and pop store that opened up down the street, and I started selling real CDs. Like I got trap music early, you know. So I started selling CDs. So really, kind of like what it was, bro. Is I was really into sports when I was young, and then I was about 13 or 14. I want to say I went out for like my 10th grade year. And I was already like dabbling in Sony Acid Pro, doing remixes, blending acapellas with instrumentals, just like messing around with stuff. And I was already recording at the house and shit like that. And bro, I remember I went out and I wasn't a pitcher, but I was pitching for those 2 years. And Steven Strasburg from fucking Stockbridge, he ended up getting picked up by the Braves, but he came out while he was like his junior, senior year. And bro, the way I heard the ball hitting the mitt, he was throwing that shit so hard. I was like, I can't throw that hard or hit that hard. And it was like, clearly, bro, he was going pro. And I was like, clearly I'm not, you know? So I was like, right in that moment that I heard the ball hit that glove, I was like, I'm never fucking playing baseball again, you know? I was like, I'm not playing video games again. I'm going all in with this music shit. And literally from that moment, I was like 14, bro. I went like all the way the fuck in, you know? And it's like from then, bro, I've just been like open ears, listening to people. Like I learned a lot of shit about mixtapes just by being on the ground. And like I used to get off every day from school and drive around and drop CDs off on consignment. 285 is a big circle that goes around Atlanta. So I drive around 285 in my dad's little red pickup truck and fucking just drop CDs off in consignment and then pick up a little information from the CD store owners about things I was doing wrong. They'd be like, why don't you write down your CDs? I was like, I got a cover. I wasn't thinking about writing on CDs. Like, what if the CDs get, you know, like mixed up with other CDs? How would you know which is it? Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is brilliant. You know, like,
exactly.
Literally just learned by fucking up the whole way. But I just kind of dedicated myself to it early, bro. And I feel like the more I've done, the more I've kind of wanted out of myself, you know? Like even I was doing mixtapes and I was tour DJing, and then I hit a point getting the music I was getting. Like I was working with Freddie Gibbs and Phil and doing their mixtapes, but I was not loving a lot of the beats them and other people were rapping on, you know? Yeah. And I felt like it was a time where it was transitioning out of everybody was sampling to we're trying to do our own beats now using keyboards. And it's not like now to where there's like real sample makers, you know what I'm saying? And people really like couture doing it. It was like click, 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 click. You know what I'm saying? It's like real plinky plunky and not really inspiring. So I was like, man, I could either complain about the beats I'm getting and hearing, or I could just make the shit I want to hear. So I took a year off and I was like, I'm gonna make 5 beats a day. And so for that whole year, that's all I did. I made 5 beats a day and I blogged. I started Boulevard Street.
Wow.
And so that's all I did, bro. And then continuing on, bro, like, you know, I was in a relationship for a long time, like most of my life. And then once I realized probably about 5 years ago that was not going anywhere and it was a wrap, I just obsessively, because I've been mixing for probably like 11 years. I just obsessively got like, I just got obsessed with mixing and mastering and just like perfecting the sound. So, bro, I got like subscriptions to Mix with the Masters and Masterclass and fucking watched all the interviews I could watch from the top interviewers and like listen to those people's influences and, you know, just try to educate myself and just learning and applying and fucking up. And, you know, luckily I have a great mastering engineer. I mix and master now, but, you know, I have a great mastering engineer, Glenn Schick, who, you know, while I'm still doing shit, I could just like work it out, send it to him. He's like, why the fuck is this like this? And why is this like this? And, you know, like he straightens me out every time, bro. Yeah. He did like Usher, and so much shit, you know, it's like, so to have him be like, almost like guardrails on me, you know, it's like a blessing. So I could just like bang, 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 bang my head and send it to him. And he'd be like, a lot of this is right. This right here ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm at a point where I'm just like, I walked in the other day to do the first mix and master. We just did our first mix and master at Tree Sound. And bro, I felt so comfortable, not even fully being comfortable with the equipment from being working on it a lot. You know, it's like I have my flow within Pro Tools. Like I have no flow for Pro Tools mixed with running through the SSL, mixed with running through the Neves and then spitting it back in and getting it all to play back on time and all that stuff, bro. Like all that was like foreign. And bro, with me, Walt Live was in there with me. You know, he's always mixing with me. He's been a mixing partner, you know, pretty much this whole time.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Lindsay, he was in there mixing assistant too, and shit, we all figured out how to do it, and it came out so dope. You know, it was like no notes on the mix. The guy was so excited, and I just love it. I love it when somebody sends me something and it sounds cool, and they hear where it could go, and then I send it back to them, and they're like, "Fuck, you heard exactly where I was going with that shit." You know, it's like, that's just the best feeling. And honestly, I feel like mixing and mastering is like kind of like producing, to where I put it all together. I can put my DJ and the marketing that I've done, because I got my first marketing credit for. I got my first credit for internet marketing when I was like 19 for the Backwoods album. Wow. Backwoods were signed to Rowdy, which is Dallas Austin's label. So that's where me and Walt Live met, with Dallas Austin studio. So man, it's just it's crazy how it all comes together, and you know, bro, I can just
definitely
with greatness, and really just pushing myself. Like even with the beats, like the first year I was mainly sampling, and I was just learning how to play keys and stuff. But at the end of it, I was like, man, sampling is too easy for me, you know. And it's like, I see now there's more creative techniques than what I was doing at the time. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing Dilla level sampling. You know, I was like looping or loading stuff up into, like, I was using Reason, so I'd load into like that Rex looper, and it kind of chops it. But the technology does a lot of work for you. You know, it's not like you had to place each chop on the ASR10. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like how old school hip hop was done. Like the technology was helping me so much. And the samples, you know, it's kind of like I've heard Kanye West or some of these other people talk about samples. Like you have over 100 years of musicianship on one song a lot of these times. You know, one guy may have been playing for 30 years, another guy may have been playing for 20 years. And bro, you got like hundreds of years on this one song. So it's like, it's hard to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wanted to push myself. How can I make these samples? And so I created Mick Vegas, which for a year ended up being like a pseudonym because I couldn't get anybody to join. It was supposed to be like a live production crew. Can't get anybody. And as soon as I did it, that shit, which you hear Starlito say, Renaissance Gangster, R.I.P. Mick Vegas, welcome back, burn one. That's when I linked back up with Go Ricky Go. I linked up with Go Ricky Go. And then I linked back up with Walt Live because I was managing him early back when he did he co-produced God in the Building for Killer Mike. And the first song 2 Chainz said Hold Up On, which was the first song 2 Chainz said 2 Chainz on, which was Hold Up by Player Circle. But I was managing for all those, and then kind of fell off for a little bit, and then he came back in town, and one of our friends got us back together, and man, I was like, this is exactly what I was talking about. You know, they were with the professor who played bass, and it was like, this is the sound I've been looking for. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, this is it. So it's like, you know, you just got to keep trying and it's like the first thing may not be it. And so it's like, I had no problem giving up on Mick Vegas. You know, I'm like, I'm not going to force it. Like, I'm not trying to do a pseudonym, and I can't get people around me. I tried for a whole year to get people, and it was like not working, you know. Now I have access to like the coldest musicians around, you know. But it was like at the time, it wasn't people weren't playing on beats, you know. It's like you had the legendary Atlanta musicians like Craig Love and these people who played on like all these legendary records, but it wasn't like people playing on up and coming producers' beats. You know, that wasn't really a thing like it is now, to where people just hop in with a guitar player or a bass player or horn player. Now it's kind of commonplace, you know. Like I remember meeting with Kier Lehman, who's like the music supervisor over Insecure and a bunch of stuff. He's done like a bunch of big new movies with Ice Cube, and I remember sitting with him. He's like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, you know, he's like, I was like, man, I'm working with this crew. We got like a live band. He was like, "Is that like special?" I was like, "Oh, you crushed me." You know what I'm saying? Crushed me. I was like, yeah. But, you know, you realize it's levels. And from that, you know, we did, you know, through him, we partnered with a sound design company and did some sounds, and did sound design on the 1917 movie trailer. Yeah. And Justice League. And that was literally from him asking me. My lawyer sat us down, had us meet just when he was in town working on Ice Cube movie. And he asked me, what else do you want to do? I was like, we want to fucking do some sound design for some fucking movie trailers. He was like, that's funny. I own a movie trailer sound design company. I was like, what? He was like, you have a composer that does all the stuff, but, you know, we're open to sounds. He was like, just go listen, you know, like go to IMDb, watch some trailers and make some shit that sounds better. And bro, we sent him some sounds a week later, and he was like, man, we haven't heard no sounds like this. Wow. You know? Yeah, bro. And fucking they ordered like 30 sounds. So it was really dope, man.
That's crazy, man. It's like I said, it's crazy to see like how far you're going, you know, just from like when we first met. I think it's this year. I've been in Atlanta for 5 years now. So before I moved here, and so it's like a big difference. Yeah. So, but just to see the jump from first meeting you and then to like seeing where the 5 Points Bakery is at. I wanted to ask you. So when it comes to just being in the music industry, as far as like whether it be producing or engineering, is there something that you feel like is undervalued that maybe people don't take advantage of learning about, possibly that could help them like in the long run? Like what's something that you feel when you first started that helped you, like whether it be learning and actually taking this, mixing with the masters, that just really helped you like learn more about mixing and mastering and everything? Or was there something that you feel like that helped you a lot as far as like early on in the career, whether it be networking or just, something
Man,
like
the
that?
first thing that helped me out, because I wasn't talented. I had no fucking natural gifts. I had nothing, bro. I was starting from fucking the bottom,
Yeah.
So I'll say just being cool is underrated, bro.
Mm.
Being cool as in like, I always wanted to bring value to situations before I asked of anything. Every single fucking time. Nobody can ever say, someone just came to me and asked me for some shit. It's always somebody that did way more for that could, whatever I was asking for, couldn't even repay me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's just how I've always been. I've never been a person who's like needed anything. I've always been appreciative just to be let in the room.
Yeah.
Like my earliest experience in the studio, not my bedroom, was at Grand Hustle. That was because the girls in my school, 2 girls that were in the grade above me were named Ecstasy, and they were signed to Grand Hustle. And so I was like, yo, can T.I. host y'all, and T.I. host one of my tapes? And so in my 12th grade year in high school, T.I. and the PSC hosted one of my tapes. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my first tapes. And all of that was just from being cool. You know what I'm saying? From being cool and them knowing me and being like, he's been around like selling these CDs. She's on the come up. He's humble. You know what I'm saying? He's just fucking trying to do it. Like, yeah, we'll get this guy who's about to drop one of the most important albums of his career, trap music. Trap music was literally about to drop. Like it dropped like a week or 2 after my mixtape dropped. And so just being cool got me a long way, and not being needy. I see a lot of people come in like just trying to get what they can get for them, and it's like that's such the wrong way to go about it. It's like if you play your role, and bring some value to the team, bring some value to what's going on, somebody will want to do something for you.
Exactly.
That and you have to have like an internal battery in your back to want to be better. If you're looking for external sources of other people to validate you, or allowing other people to invalidate you, or let people say, oh, music's not a career that anybody should take. Like I've told so many people, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like your opinion is your opinion, and that truth may be right for you, but that don't mean it's right for me. And it's like I've specifically chosen the non-beaten path because the beaten path is not for me, bro. I suck at everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do, dog. But it's like this creative stuff, like being able to use all this stuff from, like I said, in DJing and marketing and A&R. And I A&R'd with Bubba Sparks' label, New South. I toured DJ with him for a couple years when he had Miss New Booty out. And so it's just learning with that. But man, just being cool and always bringing value. Like, bro, I met DJ Toon by doing a hip hop DVD because I was like, how can I get around these people that I love? Because I was in the studio and I was like, I'm just not around the producers that I want to be around,
Yeah.
I was just learning about it. And I was like, I want to be around Toon. I want to be around Mr. DJ. I want to be around some of these people that are like my heroes. And I was like, well, I want to do a hip hop DVD. So it was like Smack DVD and all that shit was popping at the time. So I did one called The Fix. And so I went literally went and borrowed a camera from my homie who was at AIU and used their fucking computer lab at AIU, walked in that bitch like a student. You know what I'm saying? And just no YouTube, no nothing, just taught myself and just fucking shot that shit and edited it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Pulled up on them because I realized, bro, if I help them tell their story and promote what they want to promote, then we're good. We're just cool. Not even like I can get anything from them, but we're just cool. I've helped them out. I've shown them I'm trying to help you out. I'm in it for a cause other than just my own personal thing. You know what I'm saying? And so when I did it, we kicked it for an hour. It went great.
Yeah.
I came out. He saw I was real about the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I came back around to the West End, I was like, hey, bro, I got some green. Can I come through and smoke one with you? You know? He's like, hell yeah, young, come on. I'm cooking up.
Yeah.
I'll just sit there and watch him make beats for hours, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just talking shit about everything, technology and just everything. So it's like, you can get into a lot of rooms by just being a good person, just bringing value to situations. Like, I feel like people have to, in their mind, they feel like it's so tough and they got to swindle and they got to be thirsty. And bro, the thirstiness will get you kicked out of rooms. I just got a call today from an OG engineer who, this guy at the studio is just overreaching his boundaries and not playing his role and just getting in the way. And it's like, the guy's gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's gonna be out
exactly.
of job, and it's gonna be like, hey man, you know, like
Yeah,
you did this to yourself because you can't be cool. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? It's like you gotta be cool, man. You know, and it's not being a pushover. You set your boundaries and all that stuff, you know. But it's just bring value to situations. Like I care more than anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
I can say that, bro. In any session I'm ever in, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's no diss to anybody, bro. I care more. I'm gonna be there the longest. I'm gonna spend the most time. My eyes are gonna fucking water. I'm gonna be like, oh, this is my last edit. I'm like, all right, I'm done. You know.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna go to the level because I have to, bro. I don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like my breaks don't work. I'm scared of mediocrity, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it's really about. So it's like any chance I'm given to excel, I have to take it. Anytime. Like I cut the cord on my cable like 5 years ago too. Because I was like, why am I watching any fucking TV show?
Yeah.
Only I'm watching tutorials. And so for the past 5 years, I think I watched the TV show Dark. That shit was hard. And one other show. And that was it, bro. I haven't watched fucking anything else, dog. Nothing. You know? Like I've only watched tutorials, interviews, anything that can make me better, bro. And it's like when I get in certain situations, this is what we would do is we problem solve with technology. And so it's like, and I get in these situations, it's like some random thing pops in my head of, oh, you can just put one multi-band compressor on this frequency, or you can just fucking just do this one side chain. Like all this shit that, you know, you don't need in every mix, or you don't need in every time, but it's there when I fucking need it, man, because I'm prepared, you know? It's like, you know, the Southern saying, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Bro, I'm game time in every room I walk in now. You know, it's like, you know, we all have like imposter syndrome and shit like that. But, you know, a couple years ago, we did that record for Superfly. Superfly reboot that they did. Director X shot. We did the first song on there. I opened the whole soundtrack with Sleepy Brown and Scar. Bro, I remember walking in that room and like producing the female vocals while Big Boy walked in the room. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like nervous. And fucking Sleepy Brown's in there. And, you know, I played the bass line at first, and then Preston Crump played all the Outkast bass lines and shit. From Me and You, Elevators to everything, bro. And, you know, Sleepy's like, yo, can you teach Preston the bass? I'm like, teach my bass hero the bass line? I'm like, so nervous, like, you know, I'm like, but it's like, you know, Ray Murray walks in from Organized Noise, and, you know, like we're listening back to the song, and I was like, bro, you know, you raised me. You know what I'm saying? Like Organized Noise, you know, Pimp C, DJ Paul, Juicy J, T-Mix. You know, I'm like, all y'all fully see, y'all raised me. Yeah. And he looked at me and said, you graduated. You graduated. Like you're here. You know what I'm saying? Like you're fucking doing it. Like step into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And so I'm really, from that point forward, I'm trying not to doubt myself, you know?
No, definitely.
I just realized, man, I'm prepared for these moments, man. So it's like, you know, like a couple weeks ago, I got in with Fabo and we did a classic. You know, that'll be out soon. But so I'm shooting videos or doing anything, man. I'm game time ready, bro. I'm not worried about nothing. I'm just waiting on the call, you know?
Exactly. Like you said, if you know, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So that's like definitely a key to like always learn your tools, or learn, you know, basically what you want to do, learning exactly from the greats. And then just constantly, just like we were saying earlier, sharpening that knife of yours, that skill. So that way you can just be ready at all times. So if somebody calls you and it's time to like step up to the plate, you're like, oh, I've been preparing for this. And so I definitely get that.
Because the thing is, bro, we all of these things are techniques, are like tools in our tool belt. You know what I'm saying? We don't need them on everything, but it's like there's so many times where I'll hear like Toomp in my head, like that sample in Playboy. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear these things of Banner will just, you know what I'm saying? Certain things he's told me, because I engineer for David Banner. We're finishing up the God Box 2 right now. There's so much shit we got going on, you know? I'm like, totally forgot, you know, about Banner, bro. Banner's been such like an amazing influence in my life, like the past 3-4 years. I've known him since I was like 18. He used to host my mixtapes back in the day too. And then the past like 4 years, just kind of circled back around and kind of like loop me in what he's got going on with the Banner vision. Kind of kept me close, bro. So he's really just been like beating like beautiful mixed principles in my head, you know, from Dr. Dre and Quick and all these people, man. So it's like, when you learn these things, little sample chopping techniques, all this stuff, it's just like when you get in that moment, it's like, okay, I know how to handle this. You know, it's like, I can do that fucking Toomp shit right here. I can do that DJ Paul right here. I can do that Dilla shit right here. I could do, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like you're biting them, but it's like they got techniques from other people too. You know what I'm saying? It's like rarely are people pulling shit out of thin air, dog.
Exactly.
Even my favorite producers are referencing back Marley Marl, and what I'm saying? It's like people referencing back, it's like DJ Toomps, really one of my favorite producers. He loves DJ Paul and 3 6 Mafia. I love them, you know what I'm saying? And they love fucking other people behind them, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we're all building off this common language, It's like I realized the value. I didn't want to like learn songs on the bass for so long because I didn't want to just like fight people. But then you realize music is a language, and you learn these little phrases or ways to get between notes or little things, and then you apply them in other ways. And I'm like, man, I've used so much of like "You Are My Starship" by Norman Connors, that bass line.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit's tasty as fuck. And it's like just me learning how to play it, I can apply that on other songs, that smoothness, the way it's moving, the flowiness without biting the song. I think that's what the great artists borrow, bad artists steal. You know what I'm saying? Type thing goes from. It's like, don't just try to emulate and replicate. It's
exactly.
Like drink that shit in, see, break it apart. It's like when I hear a beat, bro, my ex-wife hates me for this because she says her brain can't not do this when she hears songs. Because I told her, she's like, how are you listening? She's like, I hear you. When you listen to music, you like stop and you're like in the zone. I'm like, when I listen to a song, I close my eyes and everything breaks apart. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got drums in the middle, I got vocal, I see the guitar. You know what I'm saying? It's like my brain breaks all the elements apart from it. And so I can like reconstruct it back together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't know where that came from. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just being a DJ or just being curious.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing too, bro. Being curious will take you a long way in life.
Definitely.
Just me wanting to learn about shit has probably got me this far. Like you're saying, every time you see me, like I wasn't shooting videos at one point. I wasn't taking pictures at one point. I wasn't, Yeah. It's like.
No, definitely, man. Like I definitely understand that. No, definitely. Like you were saying, it's just being curious and sort of like having that almost like hunger, you see a lot of like artists who make
not
it far.
Exactly.
Hunger. There's a difference between being thirsty and hungry. There's a difference between that.
It's a huge difference, bro. And it amazes me how some people can't see the difference. Because it's like, this is the problem, bro. To people who are seasoned, it is so clear to the people who are green, who are amateurs, who don't know. And it's like, the more you try to act like you know and you don't know, the more you're just going to get exposed. You're going to get taken advantage of. Like I'm lucky when I was young, Bubba Sparks, he was on a lot of drugs when we were on tour. We all were, you know what I'm saying? But one time I was just like laughing, going along with something. I was like, oh yeah. He was like, you don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? And I was like, nah. He was like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what you're talking about, just shut the fuck up. And I was like, that's harsh, dog. But then also I was like, that's helped me out so much in life because if I don't, I just shut the fuck up. And it helps me out so much. There's no need to go along. There's no need to act like you know if you don't know. Just ask, bro. Like so many people are so scared of seeming stupid because they think everybody knows something. They're scared to be like, oh, something, whatever. I heard Malcolm Gladwell talk about his parents one time. He's like, my dad is not afraid to look like an idiot. He's one of the smartest people around. He is not afraid to be at a dinner table and ask, if somebody says something about changing his tire, oh, how do you do that? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not afraid to look stupid because as soon as he gets the information, then he knows.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed my whole thought about asking questions. So I've always been curious, but that took away any like trepidation I had about asking questions. I'm like, I want to know. And it's only going to take me one time looking halfway silly before I know it. And then I don't have to look silly no more.
Exactly. No, definitely, man. And that makes a lot of sense. You just got to constantly be learning. And like you said, not be afraid to ask those questions. Which I wanted to ask you, so from when you first started to how music, is to where it is now, do you like the direction that I guess music is going? Like, what do you think about direction that is going? And like also on top of that, where do you think it's going? If that makes sense. Like because I know you yourself, you try to create like your own thing, you're doing your own style. And like, do you think like, are we gonna bring back some older things? I mean, we constantly do that now where like, people bring back old records or like they try to flip old records or sample them and stuff. But as far as
that's
like,
never going to stop.
Yeah, that's never going to stop. It's like a thing for always. But do you think for like the next, let's say in the next 5 years, do you think the style or, something else is really going to take over? Cause I'd say for the longest, if not for a long time, the South has been on top. Is there like a different sound that you think is going to come back or that's going to take over as being like what's mainstream?
It's a little difficult because regional sounds or regional rap is done. It's like, it's done. Because as soon as anything is halfway popular on the internet, bro, people bite that shit. Look at drill. Look at, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's like as soon as somebody gets one record that does halfway good, there's like a million tutorials online how to make beats like it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it gets ran into the ground immediately. It's like, bro, there's producers from Toronto who sound like they're from Atlanta, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's so bugged. Like, if you didn't say they're Toronto producers, you'd be like, y'all from Atlanta? That's just how influential Atlanta and, you know?
Yeah.
But so it just means everything's kind of been homogenized a little bit. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the future, live instrumentation is coming back, bro. That's fire, man. You know, I'm hoping I can be one of the people leading the charge. You'll see Frank Dukes out there and fucking a lot of people like Q Beats making dope original samples and shit like that. More original samples. They call them loop makers. I hate loops, but I guess we're always trying to find like the perfect loop in samples, period. So I guess it's cool, you know. We call them original samples, you know. But I'm definitely seeing more original music coming back. You know, I think everything is still getting shorter and faster. You know, it's like I was telling one of my OGs the other day, I'm like, you could tell the time period of a rap record by how long the drums are. You know, it's like back in the day, you'd have these long, you know what I'm saying? But like, like these 808, it would still be 808, but it would be like this big old reverb and long, you know, the snare itself might last 3 seconds, you know? And now it's like the clap be like, or the rim be like a click, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like the hi-hat be like, you know, you can literally take old sounding hi-hats to go and just shorten them and they sound like modern hats. So, you know what I'm saying? Like you shorten the sound and it immediately sounds modern, bro. So I think everything's getting shorter, faster. People got less of an attention span. I think albums are going to come back. I think with the advent of NFTs, something cool is going to happen in the next 5 years as far as like rolling in different ways of rolling out music. Like still keep it streaming in there because that's the most accessible way of playing music. But rolling more things into NFTs as far as like personal experiences, ways fans can be a part of things. Because bro, the trend of like how these avatar projects, the PFP projects and NFT in the NFT world, like Bored Apes and fucking CryptoPunks and shit. Really the Bored Ape Yacht Club, dog. That shit is like, should have fucking bought one, dog. But that shit is like the, you know, these avatar projects have like these roadmaps and you know, you buy this thing and then they come out, you know, 3 weeks later, the people that bought that, now you get a fucking dog. You know, now the dogs go from being a giveaway to the people that bought it. Now those dogs are selling for 4 Ether. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's a whole new way of thinking. It's a whole new way of digital ownership. It's a whole new way of everything. So I think it's going to take a minute for everybody to kind of wrap their brain around how to harness it in their own way. And the fact that it can be anything, you know, because the NFT is just a data journal entry on the blockchain, you know, whether it be Ethereum or PicTick on Tezos blockchain, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Man, we're going to see for sure in the next 5 years a way less dependency on majors as people figure out how to really own more. Because, bro, if these artists, like these rappers that are starting to buzz, like say ESCG, right? Yeah. Like he's so dope. And I don't know at what point he really got signed or, you know what I'm saying, any of that stuff. But there was a point at which he was getting a killer load for shows and doing enough. Say right before he chose to sign, somebody who knows a lot about NFTs came into his team and found a way to, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Somehow get him in that sphere to where fans were getting in more than just listening to music. And they felt like they're part of a fan club like there used to be back in the day. But there's some type of return on it. And you know what I'm saying, bro? There's smart ways that people are going to figure this out. I'm not a good business person. I'm good with music and creative shit. I'm not really business minded like that. But smart people, far smarter than me, are going to figure out how to make this work in the best interest of the artist. Because that's what it's about now. We've had really for the entirety of humanity, middlemen in between the art, whether it be like kings and queens, like a commissioning artist. You know what I'm saying? You're still in the middle of the shit. I mean, you're funding it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure they were giving that paint this or paint that, or you know what I'm saying? So now you sign to a major and then they kind of want you to do a song with, you know, Chris Brown or whoever, you know what I'm saying? And it's like these things. So I think in the next 5 years, it's just going to be some people that really just flip this shit on its head. And people are going to be like, wow, can you remember we were happy with the pennies we were getting from streaming? Exactly. You know, like we dropped a drum kit, bro. Yeah. We sold 4 of them and made more than if we would have sold, I don't know, 2,000 at the regular price. 1,000 at the regular price. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it all the way real, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that for was way, and it was the first NFT drum kit ever in history, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So then,
So
like,
eventually, like Bored Apes and all that shit, they'll come back once
Yeah.
music comes along and all that shit. They'll be like, Iron One and fucking 5 Points Bakery drop the first fucking NFT drum kit, because that's what all this shit is about. The value, you know, the CryptoPunks have value because they were one of the first ones. You see Ether rocks or whatever the fuck those things are, the little rocks, dog,
Yeah.
like nothing, but just for the time period that they came in on, you know. But more just ownership of us, you know, more
Exactly.
musicianship. I think artist development is going to come back
Yeah.
in some form or fashion.
Okay.
I would like to. I'd like to see it, you know. But yeah, man, I'm hopeful about everything. I'm
Definitely.
super excited, bro. The technology is exciting. You know, I'm hosting the Ableton workshop.
Oh yeah, I just saw that.
Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, man.
On October the 6th.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's a couple weeks from now. It's free. Anybody wants to RSVP. But bro, I'll be showing like all types of creative techniques and stuff. And man,
Okay.
just some of the shit you can do in Ableton, like on the push, bro. Like I put it in scale mode and just go like this, like up and down, and it sounds like a heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I put a delay and it sounds like one of those 70s little, you know, like one of them sounds I cannot play, bro. I'm not that dexterous on the keys, but you put that shit in scale mode, or you just find a little shape and then move that shape around. You got these chords that sound weird and different, and you know, chord generators, and bro, just all types of cool shit. So, bro, that's what I'm gonna be showing in the Ableton thing, just different ways to make it. But man, there's so much technology and.
Yeah, no, definitely. It seems like the way that it's going is, and it's been going like this a little bit, but now I guess we're starting to see more of it. It's just there's a lot more power going back to the artist, and so and so like the artist is going to be able to. If now more than ever, like in 5 years, they're going to have even more control of, you know, and of their, you know, art, and then also different ways of actually making money if they want to do it independently versus how, you know, back in the day you had to sign to a major, you had to do things a certain way because there were gatekeepers, you know what I mean? And so now it's more so like, well, if I want to do something on my own, I can do it on my own because there's tools out there for me to go and like be able to do it as an individual versus having to go through certain doors that, you know, you had to back in the day. And so I get that. But there's one thing
I would love to see people when they talk.
Yeah.
Common thing to be, instead of, man, you know, I'm trying to get signed, I'm trying to get on to, I'm trying to get a team. You know, like, bro, people look like I'm trying to get a team. I always tell people, bro, if all you worry about is the fans, you're gonna be good. You know, some people, man, how do I get signed and all this? The labels want to see that you got numbers and that people give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? So if you go to the fans and you start building that relationship, start talking to them directly on Instagram and all this stuff, because I do consulting too. That's a big thing I've been doing the past couple months. Really, is doing a lot of like Zoom and Skype sessions, consulting artists and doing like these 1 hour consultations, basically helping break down everything that artists are doing, because everybody is in different situations. You know, some people don't even have their mixing and mastering right, so I got to help them get them in the right direction, getting their sound right. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even have the beat. Some people send me 4 songs. You know, I can do it all, but I don't know which direction. I'm like, this first song is it. And they're like, man, everybody's been telling me that's the one, man. I'm like, bro, keep doing songs like that. You know, like this other shit, you doing this and that ain't it. Like, keep going in the direction that people are telling you. You know, it's like, listen to people, you know?
No, definitely, man. I definitely agree with that. And so there's one last thing I wanted to ask you to sort of like end the episode, because you've been dropping a bunch of gems, and I'm pretty sure everybody who checks it out, whether they're a producer in the music industry or whatever, just will, man, there's so much you can take from this conversation. But the last thing, real simple, what's something that, how do I put it? Like, what would you say to yourself, like when you were first beginning on this journey? Like, what's like a piece of advice that you would give yourself, or even just someone that's getting into this industry now? Like, what's something that you, maybe words that you live by that kind of push you through, like even on that push you through on tough days, and just be like, okay, like it's tough, but I'm still going to keep going. Like, what's a piece of advice that you think that you hold on to, maybe, or maybe like, you know, somebody higher up told you, like a legend that you look up to?
It's really just a mindset that I'm a professional and I don't get a choice about what I do as far as certain things. You know, I don't get to be like certain people, and I'm not knocking it, bro. Everybody's different. But certain people are like, oh man, I'm just not inspired, or I'm not, You know, if I'm not inspired, bro, I'm gonna listen to some fucking shit I love, bro. I'm gonna go like watch a tutorial on some random dude who I don't even know showing some fucking technique or some, bro. There's no reason to be uninspired. Now, if there's mental health issues and stuff like that, you gotta get yourself straight first off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not discounting that mental health matters, you know.
Yeah.
But most important is knowing that this is what I've signed up for. You know, and when it gets hardest, is like this is what I've chose. I've foregone safety and a comfort blanket for the potential of greatness in the unknown. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to a certain point, I have to be completely comfortable with feeling like I'm just floating in water and I can't touch the bottom of the pool with my
feet. Okay.
Whether that be in the studio, because some people can't hang with us in the studio, and I tell them just play. They're like, play what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just vibe, dog. Like everybody's playing notes, just jump some notes in there. You know, like they can't figure out how to just let go and just vibe. You know what I'm saying? They're not used to their feet going like this under the water and not touching. They're used to being like, I play a 2-5-1 if they're music theory people, or I play whatever I vibe on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like different stuff works for different people, but you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So like when shit gets down and whatever, and it's like, yeah, you know, shit may get tough or, you know, money might get tight sometime, but I'm like, I've foregone safety and comfort for this because I'm going towards something bigger, bro. I feel like if you know you're going towards something big, that gives you the goal right there. You know what I'm saying? Like all I ever wanted to do is just like put out dope shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And just challenge myself to be better. And having a lot of success early was interesting. It was like a blessing and a curse having something like Gucci and Chicken Talk jump off. And all my early tapes did good. It was just Chicken Talk just went fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like that shit jumped off and then went on the road. Bubba Sparks and everything went crazy. And to be honest, dog, I just lost a lot of time to drinking, bro. You know, one thing I would have told myself young is, bro, everything in the industry is hyper normalized on every level. So drug use, just fucking everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I was on the road with a guy and bro, he used to have to like roll over in the morning and hit the fucking whiskey to get out of bed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I ain't no alcoholic. I ain't drinking like that. And it's like, bro, yes, you can be an alcoholic if you can't stop drinking when you start. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you fucking can, you know? Just led me down a fucking, a lot of wasted time, dog, keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, a lot of wasted time with fucking drinking and just kind of a little bit of looking back now, a little bit of like letting my foot off the gas and a little bit like feeling like people didn't look out for me like they said they were. And so kind of like feeling a little bad for myself. I think I was just like in a little bit of a depression, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, I think the thing you gotta realize is nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking coming to save you. You are your own Superman and Superwoman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you get that in your mindset of, okay, nobody's coming to save me, I got to get up off my ass and do this. That means every day you are going to be doing things that are going to make your personal growth, you know, make you develop personal growth, develop your network. Every day I'm DMing somebody about some type of network thing. I'm following up on some type of business thing. I'm sending beats out to some rapper that probably is never going to listen to the beats. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sending that shit out just to send a little baby or whoever. You know, it's like the email that was put up on the engineer's thing. You know, I'm like, bro, I'm shooting my shot every fucking day because it only takes, you know, Banner always tells me this. Banner tells me this. This is a good thing. That's good that we got this. All it takes is one yes. The no's don't fucking matter. You know, and it's hard to be like, the no's don't matter. But it's like, we get more opportunities than the average bear, so we're going to get more no's. You know what I'm saying? He's like, if I cared about all my no's, he talks about his acting, what do you call it, like the tryouts or whatever? Yeah. He's like, when I do an audition, I don't even think about it afterwards. If they call and tell me I got it, then I'll think about it again. He's like, it's none of my business whether I got it or not. You know? But he keeps saying, he's like, all you need is one yes. He says, my one yes was like a pimp. And I'm still living off that to this day.
Wow.
You know? So it's like, that's just something to keep in mind of like, everything doesn't have to work.
Exactly.
Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Don't wait on the perfect time. This is what I'll say too. Do not wait on the perfect time to get moving on your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, if I would have waited when I was younger to do anything, I would have never developed. I would have never learned anything. I would have just sat there stagnant and been an armchair person on fucking Twitter or wherever, MySpace, whatever it was at the time, just talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta get in the fucking game, you know?
Definitely, man. I definitely agree. I think that's a good way to end it, man. That's like good note, real inspirational. You got me over here like, damn, I'm getting hyped up over here listening, you know. But no, definitely, bro. Like I really appreciate you once again for being on the podcast. And one more time, Burn, for anybody that's still listening, if they want to find out about your, you know, consultations that you offer or the Ableton session got up, promo everything that you want to promo so that way people can find you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. At DJ BURNONE, DJ Burn One on all social media. Our website is www.the5pointsbakery.com. The 5 Points Bakery, all spelled out. And you can go to treesoundstudios.com if you want to book us for a mix. Can't afford that, just send me a personal. You know what I'm saying? Like the Tree Sound mixes are a little more expensive just because of, bro, we're running through all that beautiful gear, you know? But if you can't afford that, you know, I definitely still look out for indies and shit like that. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, we got the Ableton workshop on October the 8th. I'm on October the 6th at Tweed Recording. Just RSVP. I think if you go to my Twitter, Tweed Recording, you can follow the link to RSVP to that. And then we're actually going to do an Ableton event at Tree Sound here, hopefully before the end of the year is out. We're going to do one up at Tree Sound. So that's going to be real dope, man. So I'm excited, man. We got a lot of shit coming out. Godbox 2 coming out. Shout out to my dog, David Banner, man, my big brother. That shit's special, bro. Like, he's got me, Banner's had me working on so much shit, bro. And he's pushed me, bro. Banner is not easy on me, bro. You know, it's like he's easy in some ways, you know? Yeah. But in a lot of ways, he pushes me because he knows where I want to go and he knows what I'm capable of and he knows what he needs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he could have picked more talented engineers at the time than he picked of me. Yeah. But he knew I was a good person. And he knew I'm going to try. I'm going to give him my fucking best. And, you know, he told me, bro, he said, you know, I love about you when you miss, it's not because you didn't give enough effort. It's because you cared too much. You tried too hard. You just over fucking shot your mark. You know, it's like you just started running too hard and shot over it, you know? And so now hearing that allowed me to calm down. You know, it allowed me to be like, I don't need to push so hard. Like, bro, talking about all these techniques and stuff, bro. If you look at my Pro Tools session, you got a little Andrew Sheps, you got a little Jason Joshua, you got a lot of Dave Pensado. Got a little bit of this, bro, but I tried and saw what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and now I got my style through all that. You know, so I'll say people, find your own style, drop that shit, learn and apply on your feet, man. Don't be fucking scared. Don't let nobody talk you off your square. If they can talk you off your square, go and do something else. You know what I'm saying? Don't. If you got thin skin and you know you're you know. This is the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to stand up for yourself. You can't be taking shit from people and just, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to put your big boy pants on in this world. You know what I'm saying? But the music industry is tough, man, but it's rewarding in certain ways. And honestly, man, the best part for me is when people hit me up and like, you know, somebody said, man, I was going to commit suicide and I listened to this project and I didn't, you know? Somebody said a couple of times people hit me up. This one guy said, you know, he like Renaissance Gangster got him through his second tour in Iraq. Me thinking about my music, I wasn't thinking about Iraq when I made that music, dog. You know what I'm saying? And to think that the music that I made that was healing to me in the moment could heal someone else and get them through a tour in Iraq of war, bro. Like my brain can't even, like, I'm so humbled by that. I can't not create more to be like, I'm needed in this world, dog. Yeah. You know? I'm needed in this world. And this is why I tell people, you know, my homie that passed away, Tony Calvin, he says, he used to always say, man, if you got dope shit, put it out. We need more dope shit in this world. Leave y'all down, man. Exactly.
All right. Well, to everybody's listening or watching on YouTube, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you follow Afternoon Programming on Instagram for the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And then we're going to catch y'all on the next episode. Once again, Burn One, thank you so much for being an episode, man, bro. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much this means to me. I appreciate the gems and just thank you for sharing this conversation and knowledge with me.
Much love, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
No problem.